Hello, 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 powerful mujeres. Welcome back to the Yes Mujer Build It podcast. I want to remind each of you how powerful you really are because I think we forget that as Latinas, we really are bad asses. Like we handle multiple things at the same time, right? We are always in this space of living in these two worlds back and forth, which is so powerful and helps us to build a bunch of muscles. So, I want to remind you of all the powerful muscles you have built, the bilingual muscles, the muscles of being able to help your parents with paperwork, but also get your homework done, the muscles of being able to raise your kids understanding what frijoles negros are, but then also listening to Taylor Swift or whatever music they're listening to. This bicultural power that we have. I think it's actually our superpower. And the last episode that I did on first gen pressures reminded me of how powerful we really are, how much power we already have inside of us. So I'm on a mission to remind you of the genius that you really are. Okay, we're going to talk today about belief work. Yes, this is something that I teach my clients. I introduce it in Inspired Action Group Coaching, and then we do a deep dive and actually practice it in a very intentional way in the mastermind, both in Get It Done Mastermind and in Mastermind 2.0, which is my newest offer. It's a second level of the mastermind. People who've done a year of the first mastermind are actually eligible for Mastermind 2.0. We practice it consistently in the mastermind because we play these games where you have to up level your belief in order to produce a result, right? Okay, first let's talk about what is belief work and what are beliefs. How do you define a belief? Here's my definition of belief, and this is based on having coached thousands of people. And I'll remind you all that my foundation for coaching comes from transformational work, transformational coaching that I participated in 20 years ago. So I'm coming to this world of coaching from a very unique angle. I also want to remind us all, as a disclaimer, that no one invented this stuff. People take their version of us and then use it, right? So the life coach school has a version of what is belief work. They call it the model, right? I use be, do, have. There's different interpretations of what is belief work. How do our thoughts and beliefs affect us? So I just want you to remember that you probably already have a version of this that you're using that might be a little bit different than what I'm going to teach you today. But if you don't have a version, then this is going to be a super important podcast for you. And I want you to grab a pen and paper so that you can take notes. Unless you're driving, because I know a lot of you listen to the podcast driving, or you listen to the podcast while you're going on walks or something like that. But if you have one of those little, what are they, places where you can actually tab to save little sections, you're going to want to save the section where I explain the 4 parts of belief work. Okay, let's start with what are beliefs. My definition of belief is beliefs are thoughts that you think that have become true in your body. What I mean by that is that you can feel them in your body. You can feel this thought. It's become a feeling in your body that feels true to you, like 100% in alignment with who you are. Certain beliefs that you build through time, and they start off as a thought. For example, a belief I built pretty early on was I'm smart. I built this belief early on because I remember my dad saying that I had done something to the remote control, which I had not done. But I remember listening to him saying, I think Wendy took apart the remote control and she was trying to put it back together. And then my mom said something like, I don't think she could do that. And my dad was like, no, the girl is smart. The girl is smart. She can do it. And I remember internalizing that belief. I had a thought that I possibly could be smart. And then that thought became a feeling in my body. And that feeling became part of my DNA, part of my truth, part of the way that I see myself. So now I have this belief. I do actually believe that I'm smart. And I believe I can figure most stuff out. But listen, I also have ADHD. So smart in quotes, right? Because there are certain things that are difficult for me to figure out. I'm very forgetful. You will almost always find a misspelling somewhere. So, my point is, you have beliefs about yourself also, and they go deeper than just your thoughts, and they're different than just your feelings. It's kind of like a thought and a feeling marry each other and become permanent in your body. Quote unquote permanent, because they don't stay forever. They can actually be changed. Yes, beliefs can be undone, or a new belief can be birthed in you. So beliefs aren't sedentary. They don't stay forever, right? This is the difference between a growth mindset and the difference between Ritzy. This is the difference between a set mindset and a growth mindset, right? In growth mindset, we learn that you can learn a bunch of beliefs about yourself versus being born with a set foundational belief that then just stays with you your whole life. But if you're not aware of this, if you're not aware that you can actually change your beliefs, then the beliefs that get put upon you, the beliefs that you decide, and some of these happen when we're very young, those beliefs actually do become like permanent programming in your brain. Yikes. So, first is to become aware of, I have certain beliefs. Some of them are serving me and some of them aren't. Some of them are working for me and some of them aren't. And beliefs are neutral by themselves. You decide if the belief works for you or not. The belief itself is not inherently positive or negative or good for your life or not. You're the one who has to look at your beliefs and examine them and figure out, okay, is this working for me or is this not? For example, growing up, especially when I became politicized in college, I learned the belief that greed led to people dying and that corporations were creating death around the world, especially in Guatemala, because of greed. That was a belief. Yeah. Now, many years later, I had to re-examine some of those beliefs, right? Does money equal people dying? What's the definition of greed? How does greed differentiate from money, from having money, right? I had to start breaking through some of my own limiting beliefs and then creating new beliefs around money, for example. A belief that I get often with my clients when I'm coaching women, especially around money, is the belief that money is only for bad people, or that lots of money, them having lots of money, will equal people in their family kicking them out, will equal not being part of the tribe, will equal getting shamed and getting pushed out of their friend groups, of their family groups, of the tribe. Woo, those are some strong beliefs. How do we feel about those? So I always ask, is that working for you? Is that belief actually serving you? Okay, let's start with one. You have beliefs. We all do. And they are the programming that is running you, the programming that is running your life, right? Either you're aware of it and you're intentionally programming beliefs in you, or you're just on default setting and the programming is running you and these beliefs are running you. So one of the most powerful things we do in coaching is make you aware of the beliefs behind the actions. So when somebody, for example, when somebody actually succeeds at something, this happened with a client the other day, where I was like, that's great that you just made that happen. What is the belief that actually created that result for you? When somebody makes something happen, there's a belief behind the thing that they did, the result that they got. There's something that they believe about themselves that made that happen, or something that they believe about the world or the circumstances that made that thing happen. But most people don't ask themselves that. Most people, when they're evaluating how they reached a goal, they will ask themselves, okay, well, how did I reach it? What did I do? What did I do that led to me actually being able to follow through with this goal or reach this goal? What were the strategies I implemented, right? What were the action steps I took? But you get to start from the beginning with what were the thoughts you were thinking? What were the beliefs you were in? that's actually even more powerful than the actions you took. And the actions you took obviously are powerful and they ended up working. But even more powerful than that is, what is the belief that you had about yourself that led to that success? So that's a powerful question to ask yourself if you're trying to figure out, what are my beliefs? Yes. Why is it important for us to monitor our beliefs? And dare I say, choose beliefs that are going to help us? It is important because beliefs are foundational to everything you are creating outside of yourself. So if you have a goal you want to reach, which if you're listening to this, you probably have some sort of aspiration, you have some sort of ambition, right, to move a certain area of your life forward, or maybe a specific goal you want to hit that is measurable with a timeline and everything. If that is you, you need to learn to do belief work. Here is what belief work is. So now we understand what is a belief and why it's important. What is belief work? Belief work is a 4-step process, and this is my process. This is a process I actually created based on years of practicing belief work. I narrowed it down to, what am I really doing? Belief work is a 4-step process to take a thought and actually make it a belief. Actually start feeling that thought in your body, for example. 4 steps to take a thought and actually move a thought into it becoming a belief. Because once you figure out that you've got certain beliefs that are not working for you, the next step is, well, what is the belief that would work for you? What is a belief that you can move yourself into? What is a belief that would work better for you? I'll give you an example. Growing up, I also had this belief that in order to be successful, you had to be pretty. I think this came from watching all the telenovelas with my grandma, with my abuelita. Does anybody remember Rosa Salvaje? Yes. So I used to watch telenovelas with my grandma, right? Because that's what we watched, Telemundo, Univision, all of that at night after dinner. And there were all these gorgeous women on the screen, and I looked like none of them, right? I have this beautiful Mayan nose that comes from my ancestry that doesn't really fit in with the typical European beauty identity. Okay, I don't identify with that. And that's okay. But for many years, I had the belief that you had to be pretty to succeed, to quote unquote make it in the United States. Yeah. Then, as I got older, in my 20s, I started to practice this work. And I looked at the thought. I actually examined, does this belief serve me that you have to be pretty in order to succeed? Because what I found was that this belief had been holding me back from being visible, had been holding me back from speaking on stages, had been holding me back from starting an Instagram, had been holding me back from going live and actually putting myself out there over and over again. So it was not serving me. This belief did not actually equal results for me. It was holding me back. Ooh. Therefore, I decided I needed to step into a new belief, right? Yes. And here's the question you want to ask yourself once you've caught yourself with a belief that doesn't serve you. You want to ask yourself, what is a belief that would serve me? So if I want to be more visible, and I have the belief that you have to be pretty to succeed or to be visible, what is a belief that would serve me, that would help me become more visible, that doesn't include having to be pretty? So I started to develop a new belief. My new belief is being vulnerable equals success. Being real equals success. So instead of being pretty equals success, it's being real equals success. Okay. So we're going to take that belief and I'm going to show you the 4 steps of belief work as an example so you can practice this too. What I'd love for you to do is I'd love for you to write down or decide in this moment a new belief that you want to take on, a new belief that's going to work for you. Now, here's a little caveat when you're choosing your belief. You cannot choose a belief that is so outside of your reality that your brain's going to be like, yeah, that ain't never going to happen. For example, if you're choosing a money belief, right? If you have a belief around, I'll never make money in my business, and you're realizing, oh my God, that belief is not going to serve me. We can't go to the opposite of that. Like, I'm going to make $1 million this year in my business. because your brain is going to be like, that's impossible, honey. Not that that's impossible. I don't know for sure that that's impossible. Maybe you're already at $800,000 and you only have a couple more to go to hit $1 million. I don't know. But what I'm saying is the pendulum can't swing all the way to the other side. We have to start with something like, it is possible to make money in my business. That is actually a better ladder belief than jumping into, I'm going to make $1 million. So instead of going from, I'll never make money in my business, let's move to, it is possible to make money in my business. That is a better thought. These are called ladder beliefs. You'll notice sometimes I say the word thought and I say the word belief. And that's because when you practice belief work, what you're actually doing is taking a thought and making it a belief. So when I say thought, it's because we're talking about the beginning aspect of it. So you can take the thought, I am going to make money in my business, and you can make that a belief. I'm going to teach you how to do that. Okay, this is the moment where you grab a pen and paper. Belief work. Belief work is the work we do with ourselves to take a thought and make it an actual belief. And the reason it's important is because beliefs, your beliefs about you and the way you see the world, is what is running your life. Your beliefs are running your life. It is the programming that equals the results you create in your life. Okay, step one with belief work. We're going to take the belief, I can make money in my business, and we're going to do belief work with that belief. I think that's a better belief for all of you out there. Okay, number one, you have to state the belief. State the belief in a very simple format. The brain tends to overcomplicate things. And if we give it a belief that is too long, like too many sentences or even one long running sentence, the brain will complicate it even more and you won't actually be able to feel it. So the more simple, the better. The more succinct, the better. I can make money in my business is short and succinct. Yay. Perfect. So that works. And the first step you want to do is you want to state the belief. You want to actually say it out loud. I can make money in my business. Perfect. That's step one. State it. Step two, see it. You want to be able to see your life with this belief. So if this were true, I can make money in my business, what would your life look like? Seeing it is a visualization of envisioning your life with this being true. I sometimes have clients close their eyes during the visual part of it, during the see it, and I ask them, what would your life look like if this were true? If you 100% believed that you can make money in your business, what would your life look like? What would your day-to-day look like? What would look different in your day-to-day? And we envision them opening up their bank account and seeing money in their bank account. We envisioning them buying the thing on Amazon that they've been wanting to buy, but they're scared that they're not going to make money in their business, and that's why they don't buy it. So we move through, what are the actions you would be taking? What would you be visualizing? What would you see in your day-to-day life if this were true? So step two is to see it, see the belief, right? State it is step one. Step two is to see it. Step three, feel it. Feel the belief. You have to feel the thought in your body for it to become a belief, right? So we're going to take the thought, I can make money in my business, and we're going to find it in our body. The first time you do this with a brand new thought that you're converting into a belief, it feels really uncomfortable. So I'm just going to warn you, it's going to feel like you're putting on a jacket that feels too tight or a pair of jeans that feel really uncomfortable. It's not going to feel like exact match to who you are right now. That's okay. That's part of the building of the belief. It's just like a pair of jeans that feel a little too tight the first time you put them on. The more you put them on, the more they stretch, the more they become molded to your body. The same thing will happen with the belief. So step three is to feel it. Find a place in your body where you feel it. I usually ask my clients to put their hands either on their chest, on their heart, or on their belly, or on their core area, and then start to feel into the belief. Where do you feel this in your body? Where do you feel in your body, I can make money with my business? And then you can start to move your hands to that place where you feel it. You know, it always surprises me where some women feel beliefs. Sometimes they feel them in their shoulders, I've had women tell me they feel them in their feet. I've had women tell me they feel them in their arms or in their hips, their hip area or their pelvis area, right? You want to take a deep breath in and breathe out and feel into the belief. It's going to be hard at first to even find it. So you got to keep looking. Where in my body do I feel this belief? I can make money in my business. I can make money in my business. And then try to find it. It's going to feel like a little tiny mustard seed, right? But there's so much strength and so much power in a mustard seed because it becomes this huge tree. So you keep feeling into that and that will grow. It will grow. Eventually, you'll be able to say, I can make money in my business, and you'll just feel it in a certain part of your body. You'll be able to put your hands on that belief that is starting to actually become somatically part of your body. So that's step 3, feel it. We've been through the first 3 steps, right? State it, see it, feel it. Step 4, done, done, done. Find the proof. Find the proof that this belief already exists in your life right now. Find the proof that your business is already making money. Find the proof that you are already making money. Find the proof that right now your business is making money. This is oftentimes the hardest one out of the 4 for people because people will tell me, yeah, Wendy, but my business isn't making any money right now. Like I haven't sold any products. I haven't gotten any clients. I haven't actually followed through with XYZ, right? And I'll say, let's look at it again. Let's look at all the ways in which your business is bringing some sort of monetary value somewhere out in the world. And usually what I'll find is a couple of things. One is that the business has made money in some place, in some capacity at some point. So even if you're not making money in this very moment, maybe the business was making money last year. And so that counts. Your business does make money. Your business can make money. And where's the proof? We made this amount of money last year, or we made a certain amount of money in the first quarter, or I had a really successful year 3 years ago. Now, your brain's going to try to fight you on it. It's going to tell you, no, we can't make money. It's going to give you all the reasons why not. This is a big part of belief work. It's standing in the belief, no, I can make money. And here's the proof, right? I can make money. The business can make money. Then you want to look at what else, in what other ways has the business made money? So donations, if you've done free work, if you've given somebody a product for free, that was a way for the business to make money. If somebody hired you but didn't end up paying you but paid you in some other way, right? If they gave you an energy exchange for something else they were doing for you, right? I see this a lot with like photographers who work with like a Reiki healer, and the Reiki healer will give them, as an exchange Reiki sessions, and the photographer will get paid through Reiki sessions. How much were those Reiki sessions worth? Oh, like $300. Okay, guess what? Your business just made $300. That counts. That absolutely counts as a money making of your business. Your business actually did make money in that moment, right? It's through goods and services. It's through donations. Maybe it's not direct. It's not cash directly, but it still counts as abundance coming into your business. Finding the proof is the hardest part. Your brain is going to want to say, let's go out and prove it. And so I really want to distinguish between let's go out and prove it and finding the proof that already exists. What we want to do in step 4 is find the proof that already exists. We don't want to go out and prove it. We want to find the proof that already is alive in our day-to-day life. And trust me when I say, if you start practicing this daily, these 4 steps of belief, number 4 will get easier. You will start finding ways in which your business is already making money. Your business is giving you abundance of other things that can be monetized, that we can look at. What's the monetary value of you doing this for this client and them babysitting your kid or something like that. And then we start monetizing and you can start to see how, oh, I can see my business is making money. Yes, it can make money. And then that deepens that belief of my business can make money 100%. And then the exciting part happens. After you start practicing these 4 steps, you actually start feeling that belief in your body on a regular basis. And then we take action on that belief. That's the next most important step is you've got to take action on that belief. It doesn't work if you're just sitting there believing it and feeling it and not taking any action. Guess what? Taking action from my business can make money is more likely to result in money for your business than taking action from the thought or the belief, my business is never going to make money. That thought, that belief is not going to serve you. It's not going to equal money coming into your business. This is a much better way to connect with the universe, to find in you the belief and to take action from this frequency. You're more likely to get the result that you want, which is your business actually making money. Yeah. So again, in summary, here are the 4 steps for belief work. You can do this with any belief, right? I did it with the beliefs around that I needed to be pretty to succeed. Forget that belief. Obviously, I'm successful and I don't think I'm really that pretty. I'm okay. I'm not going to call myself ugly, but I am not a beauty queen. I was not like, prom queen. I didn't have tons of guys following me around my whole life, right? I'm okay. So obviously, success comes from being real. What I'm doing right now with you guys, being real, being imperfect, which I'm starting to do more and more of. Success comes from being real. The more real I am, the more successful I'll be. How did I learn that? I practiced it through belief work. I stated it every day. I would wake up and say it. I would then see my life with that as a reality. I would picture my life. If I was being real, what would I be doing? 1, I'd be doing a lot more coaching, what I'm doing now, because that's the real version of me as a coach. I'd have a podcast, which is what I have now, because I'd be wanting to tell people and share with people these tools that I have, that I've learned, that have worked in my life, right? So I went down that, what would my life look like? And then I feel it in my body. Feel it in your body. Find the place where you feel it. I tend to feel it in my heart chakra. So I tend to put my hands over my heart. And that's where I feel that belief of being real equals success. Ooh, I have to take a deep breath when I say it because I can feel it in my body. And then, of course, I look for proof that that's already true. I look for where in my life am I being real and raw and honest and more authentic to me, and what's the success that's coming from that? Yes. And that makes me feel like, oh, it's already here. I'm already doing that. Yes, I'm already doing that. And the more I stay in that energy, I already believe this. This belief is already here in my life. There's proof of this belief now. The more I stay in that zone, the more I am being real. And the more I am being real, the more I do, right, take action from that state of being, and the more results I get. That's the work. Be, do, have. Now you have belief work, which is part of who you are being, right? It falls under the being category of be, do, have. If you want to have certain results, start with who you're being. And one of the 5 aspects of who you're being is beliefs. Beliefs. This is why beliefs are so important. So take this tool, please. Take it with you into your life. It is my gift to you. You can use it for the rest of your life to manage your beliefs. Everything starts with what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you believe, especially what you believe about yourself. Those are such important beliefs. This is a tool for you to actually choose a belief that is going to work for you, that is going to serve you, that is going to produce better, bigger results in your life. This is a tool that you can utilize every single day to move yourself towards beliefs that are going to serve you. For example, beliefs around what is selling, beliefs around confidence in yourself, beliefs around what it means to be a mom, beliefs around what it means to be a professional, beliefs around your responsibility to your parents, all of those beliefs. You can design beliefs that are going to serve you, that are going to help you create the life you want to create. And I'm here to help you do that. All right, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next episode of Yes Mujer Build It. Talk to you soon.